welcome everyone to Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network. Every week we cover the biggest news stories in the pizza world. I'm your host, Will Dumas, and I'm joined by my guest host, Jim Mumford. Jim is both a cookbook author and a writing contributor for the media publication Inside Hook. Also joining us tonight, our special guest, Anna Crucitt. Anna is the owner and operator of Mercurio's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where she's doing both Neapolitan pizza and gelato. Anna, what's up? Welcome to Pizza Roundtable. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me tonight.
Awesome.
I'm
Absolutely.
excited
Totally.
to discuss.
Jim, what's up with you, buddy? Welcome, man, as well, bud.
Hey, welcome, welcome, Will, welcome, Anna. This is gonna be a good show. We have some fun ones to talk about tonight.
I would say so. Jim, are we still calling you Jimmy Meatballs today, or will you just be Jim?
If you ever stop, I'm gonna be personally offended.
Jimmy Meatballs. Did I get that right?
You did. I didn't give it, but it sticks, and yep, that's just me. It's time.
I call my daughter a spicy meatball.
Counts.
Spicy meatball. Oh,
love it.
All
That's her
right.
name.
I like it. So I'll give you I'll give you the background just for 1 second, because Anna, you do, which we'll get into, traditional pizzas, right? As does Jim, who appreciates spaghetti and meatballs. It's just that he puts it on the pizza.
Done it. Good place.
Which I could see.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
That's
that.
cool.
It's just so hard.
Would you be down for the spaghetti and meatball pie, though, Anna? I feel that might be not quite your traditional style.
It's something I would eat. It's not something that I would sell.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. Give it a try.
It's a good middle of the road answer. You're not offending anyone, but you're also not offending me or your customers. So it's good.
I offend a lot of customers.
No way. Well, listen, Anna, speaking of your customers, tell everyone here a little bit about your spot, just so we can get a sense of who you are, what kind of pizza you're making, what you're up to.
So I have two restaurants, both Mercurio's restaurants. We do specialize in Artisan Gelato, Neapolitan pizza. So we manufacture the gelato for wholesale distribution in the Pittsburgh area, but also for our two restaurants. And I have two locations, Shady Side and Fox Chapel in Pittsburgh. And they're very kind of quick service. I'd like to say, like, our whole goal is really to create an authentic dining experience. So if you were going to go and have dinner in Naples and come back, that's kind of what you would get all in one. Our one location is much smaller, and it's very European types. Everybody, all 40 guests kind of eat at the same table. It's awesome. Very tight, and there's no room to move around. We just serve wine and beer, and we have about 29 pizzas on our menu at this point. We have some salads and a few panini, and that's it. A lot of people are asking us about pastas and asking us about, different types of protein to put on the menu, but we just are a quick turn Neapolitan pizzeria. So, that's the one location. Our other location in Fox Chapel is in a more outside of the city in a neighborhood area, and definitely larger size parties and more family oriented. And so we started last year doing pasta on the menu, and we just started doing Sicilian style. I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but it seemed like the right move for the area just because our brand is Neapolitan pizza. But at the end of the day, it's more about family and quality and good pizza. And so we feel like we can do that in both the different styles.
Ooh, I love it. I think you've hooked Jim with the Sicilian pie in there.
You had me at all of it, right? At the at the family seating, at the gelato, at the the true Naples experience. So I'm familiar with the Fox Chapel area, and they're certainly blessed to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that. All right, but your pie style in general, Neapolitan, but you live on the traditional side, right? We're not out there making kooky, crazy combination spaghetti meatball pies. We are staying to the core classics.
So it's funny because when the way that the gelato manufacturing and how the gelato business started, I was 9 when my parents started putting that together. And they just wanted to open an ice cream, a custard stand, really, in our hometown. And they opened it when I was 11. And my brother, I'm one of 7, but the brother that's a year older than me and 2 years younger than me, we all do the businesses together. We were young and watched our parents kind of build the ice cream business. And they tried to do in 2001 like the traditional nocciola and gianduja and all those flavors, and it just didn't sell. So they very quickly Americanized
Mm.
gelato, and because that was the market, so they started doing strawberry cheesecakes, and that was also kind of like when Ben and Jerry's was becoming very popular, and a couple years before Cold Stone, but like things in the product,
Yeah,
and
the
just
mix-ins, the
as
mix-ins.
the crazier the better. So I feel like our gelato is the absolute opposite of what we do with our pizza, because the pizza, we don't even put pepperoni. Like it's very traditional. There will be no modification to the marinara pizza, but
Perfect.
yet we are like the sky's the limit with gelato. So no, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But
It
although I will
works.
say, in the last few years going to Italy, I've noticed that they've really started to westernize a lot of their gelato and flavors as
Yeah.
well. So they're inspired by us.
Ah,
I was just gonna say that, right? I think that's going over right to Italy. I'm starting to see the more mix in. So really,
Right.
you're ahead of the curve, right? You had them beat by 15 years.
Right. Yeah. We
I
just
love
wanted to
it.
stay in business, right? That's really what it was.
That's cool though. I like it. I appreciate the traditional side from the pizza, and like I don't know, maybe the gelato's the more creative outreach, right, or discovery for it.
I think I need that too. It
Yeah.
because again, my brothers and I do the restaurants together, and Michael has always, and just initially, the menu is his lane, and he'll take my advice and input on things, and he'll consider it, but really that's like his area. And in order for a business to just work well with siblings, you just have to give up some of that control in that area. So I feel like we need more. It needs to be, we should be doing like a different pizza each month, and we could be doing specials. No. It's a no. So I do that for myself at home, and then I do that whenever I'm making gelato. But I need that because I like to just challenge myself to, see what we could put together, or what pairs well.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome. And how
fun.
how far is the distribution of gelato going? Like, are you selling? Is it all local for the most part? Are you selling across like the U.S.? Can you order it online? Where are you at
So
with it?
So you can, if you're a business and if you work through like a major distributor, you can
Mhm.
order through a distributor we use is Food Innovation. We ship all over the U.S., but
Wow.
we have 2 local distributors. They go, tri-state area, Pennsylvania. They'll go, West Virginia, Ohio type.
It's
All right.
amazing.
Yeah.
I dig it. Well, listen, speaking towards how creative and, I think like interesting you happen to be, I'd like to highlight an article tonight to maybe perhaps start with. And this one was out of PMQ, and it was 10 women in pizza to watch. And look who's here on
Oh,
the top
hey.
of this
That's
page.
me.
Oh my goodness. I
Okay,
love
I
it.
tried to find this article. What did I tell you about technology? I Googled it and I was like, where is this? Somebody tagged me and I don't know how to find it. I couldn't even read it.
Well, here you are,
That's
and
me
Crucitt
though.
is a Pizziola's Pizziola. Look at that. That's a great
Love it.
introduction for you. I love it. It's
That is really
awesome.
nice.
There were also some other great women featured in this article too, and obviously everyone, it is Women's Pizza Month for sure for March. So that's great. That was a great article out of PMQ. Good feature for you. I love it.
That was at the Las Vegas Pizza Festival. And I will tell you what, that was one of my very favorite festivals. I do catering, I do lots of festivals, that was just really well done. And the weather was really nice. It wasn't too hot, although it was like
Ah,
super bright.
nice.
It was so nice.
It's
We did
amazing.
that for Women in Pizza. They had Uni sponsored a booth there. And I will say one of the things that I thought was interesting. I think there were about 30 pizza chefs there, and Floriana was there. She
Mhm.
has a mobile unit in Las Vegas, but uh, maybe one other female. They had all the chefs do a picture at the end, and it
Yeah.
was, talking about women in pizza. It was it was just crazy that there was just the three women who did women in
Yeah.
pizza were the
Yeah.
three women in the picture, besides Floriana. It was like they're definitely, where are they? And then this year was really nice. They had local Pizzaiola in Las Vegas go and do
Nice.
that festival. So I
That's
was
fun.
excited to hear that.
That's awesome. Well, listen, speaking of Vegas, are you guys headed out to Expo this year, or no? Or are you hanging home?
Hanging home. I didn't know that was an option. No, I love going to Expo. It's it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
just a lot of timing. This year, I am organizing or helping to organize the Make-A-Wish booth for the World Pizza Champion team.
Wow. Good
So
for you.
we work to raise money for that program. And if you're going to be in Vegas and you're thirsty, stop by the booth and buy some water. And so all of that will go to making a difference for the Make-A-Wish. But I'm going to be handling that this year, and I'm speaking
Ooh,
Wow.
on how to add gelato to your operation.
nice.
And
Perfect.
I've been like really trying to get in touch with a lot of different gelato manufacturer companies and equipment companies, to just try and like, what's the easiest way? Somebody makes pizza for a living and they want to
Yeah.
do gelato. Like, how can we make this happen? I just feel like I want people to go out of the seminar with like easy to do list. Might be expensive, but easy.
Right.
Well,
But
but
a way actually to be able to make it tangible, right? Like you can go home and you can
Yes,
take 1, 2,
you
and
can do
3
this.
and be able to translate that into something that you can
sure.
do right away, right? I feel that.
Sure.
Okay.
Set you
So
apart. That's
that's
awesome.
what I have planned for that. And then I am gonna be, are you guys gonna be there?
I am not this
Are you
year.
I'm
gonna hang? You're hanging
I'm
no.
out.
hanging home.
We're
I'm
both
hanging
hanging home.
home, right? This is I'm hanging home.
I was gonna say, at Pizza Rock, at Tony's on Monday night, they're having the Slice Out Hunger event.
Yep.
And last year I was like so fortunate and honored to make pizza for it. But this year I am shipping my gelato
Oh, wow.
out to Pizza
Ooh.
Rock,
Oh,
and we'll
that's
be
fun.
serving gelato at that event. So people will get to try it because everybody's like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I don't know if
Exactly.
know.
it's the real deal or
You
not, right?
Yeah.
So I'll keep hearing about it, but okay,
You're right.
awesome. No, that's
Yeah.
cool, Anna. That's great.
Well, maybe
Very good.
next year you'll go and then you'll get to try it, or just come to Pittsburgh.
yeah, I will
Probably closer.
I will be in town probably in a few months and I will absolutely stop by.
Where do
Promise.
you, where you,
Oh,
where do you come when you come to Pittsburgh? Like
so
you,
I have a relationship with a business in Fox Chapel.
oh,
So I go visit them every
fun.
a little bit. And I'm in Western Michigan and Will is in Charlotte, right?
Yep, I am. So I must say though, I am sad about Bat Expo. I went 2 years ago. I had a blast. I loved it. I really wanted to go this year. Couldn't make it happen. Maybe next year though. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, listen. I'm excited for you to be at Expo. It sounds like a great time. Definitely check out the booth and stop on by. Help
Absolutely.
support Make a Wish. That's really cool. Let's hit some articles real quick. We'll talk about some. We'll get into it, and we'll see what's up in the pizza world this week. Jim, I'm gonna throw this one to you to start with, only because it
Mhm.
is something that I think you may have brought up before in your
Ooh.
own studies in the past. So this one out of PMQ, and it is study: does good pizza really depend on the water? So, Jim, give us a little background maybe about something you had done in the past, and then we chat about the article.
Yeah, I think this was the first time I was ever on. We talked about this. So I
Absolutely.
talked about, people say New York City has the best pizza or the best bagels because of the water. Is it true? And it turns out kind of, right? I mean, if you look at the mineral content in their water and you look at the chlorine content, it's actually very favorable the way it's processed off the Catskill Mountains. So, I actually did some studies where, we made pizza just with, normal water, with bottled water, with filtered water. And turns out it's slight, but with pizza only has 5 ingredients, slight makes a big difference. So the water definitely makes a difference, especially if you have really poor tap water. So interested to see them kind of take this to the next step and use not only New York water but bottled water, and kind of see where it shakes out.
Yeah, so I will say, they did come back, Jim, with a finding of, and quote unquote, after a series of blind taste tests, the study ultimately concluded that if New York pizza is, in fact, superior, it is probably not because of the water. The study found that there was such little change between the waters that a regular palate could not distinguish the difference. So I feel like this is a tough one, man. I don't know the way you conducted your study versus them, or this is only a taste outcome too for it.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's still out there. I'm not calling this definitive in any way. The question still lives for me. Is the water better?
And the waters they used, if I recall, they use a bunch of bottled waters. They use
Yes.
maybe one tap water, right? Or any.
Yep. There was
right?
one tap water.
One.
Yep.
And it depends, right? And where I lived when I was in Chicago, right, the tap water smelled like a pool, right? And that made a difference, and you had to add extra yeast. So it really does depend on how well your city's tap water is, how chlorinated, and so I agree with their study, right? Bottled water, and a lot of my recipes call for bottled water for this reason.
Particularly so I wanted to bring it
right.
up. I see you all the time chatting recipes about bottled water use.
Bottled water every time. So what do you use? Do you use tap? Do you treat your water? Or you must have good water coming off the mountains, right, in Pittsburgh, right?
We use a filtered water in our restaurant. But I will say that I believe that it does make a difference, because when I travel and compete, it has to be consistent, and you definitely get a different rise. And the amount of yeast that you put in it, it changes based on where I am. And so if I'm competing somewhere, I will bring the same bottle of water, and so that my recipe is the same. I would not depend on going to Vegas and competing in Vegas and using Vegas water. Like, I would just not, it doesn't get the rise that I'm used to in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I mean, it would if I changed the recipe, but you don't have the time to do that when you're there for a competition.
Interesting. That's a good point. I think it's probably not something that's often studied when we talk about these either. We're just looking at taste outcome, but maybe there really is an actual chemical component, like chemical difference, to make your dough different. So you're altering your recipe based upon the water of where you are. So, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so reassuring to hear that from you, right? I'm not completely out to lunch. Other people feel the same.
It's not that it's, I guess my comment to that is it's not that the pizza is better because of the water, but it's definitely, you can't make the same pizza consistent across the board with the different water sources. If you want a consistent product from in here, Vegas or Italy, you have to use the same water, because your recipe will come different. Your pizzas will be different.
Well, I can appreciate that.
That happened to me. Ask me how I know.
You're you're a professional in bringing your water with you wherever you go.
So I learned
you gotta
a lesson.
live and learn. All right, Anna, I'm gonna throw this one to you. So I'm interested because I feel like this sits on the traditional side. So I feel we're only going to read articles, guys, from PMQ apparently tonight, but PMQ out with another one. And what can I say? It's learn the ABCs of hard cheese pizza recipes. So interested, Anna, in general, lover of hard cheeses or not? Are you Parmesan fan, Pecorino? Do you lead one side or the other in terms of using them in general? Any difference to you? Any favorites? What about utilizing hard cheeses on some of your stuff?
We definitely do more Parmesan than Pecorino, but I prefer Pecorino in my pasta more so than on the pizza. Okay. And I think that's just because of when I grew up, when my grandma and my aunt would make pasta, they would always use Pecorino in it. So I'm just more familiar with that flavor profile in pasta. But
Okay. Jim, what about you, buddy?
I good Sicilian boy, right? So again, we grew up. Your pasta had pecorino on, always, always, always. For pizza, it really does depend on the style. I like it. I think it can bring some salt and some tang, especially to a style that might be cooked a lot, right? You need that sweet and
Yeah.
salty. So I finish a lot with pecorino. We talked about that last week. Even on some certain styles, it's kind of the secret ingredient that no one will tell you. But yeah,
Yes.
I do agree with the article says, right, cooking with Parmesan, like really good Parmigiano Reggiano, loses some of the subtlety to it. And I do agree with that, but I still love it, on pizza as a, right before the oven, right out of the oven to give that kind of contrast of flavors, textures, salt, and the savoriness.
I'm with you. Different use cases for it, but if I had to choose one, I'm a pecorino fan over Parmesan. I just, I don't know. The king needs to be throned, in my opinion. Bring on the pecorino. Well, listen, speaking of like the idea of these hard cheeses in general, I think the idea is like they bring a lot of like umami flavor to some of these pies. And you also get like texture right from them depending upon how they're used. This one's going to be a little controversial, and I thought this was an interesting one that Eater featured this week. And I'm intrigued just to get your thoughts on it. So it leans more towards like building a good marinara, but I'm interested in general. So Eater writes, the secret weapon in my marinara is the tomato chicken bouillon. So Knorr's caldo de tomate belong in more than just a soup. So I'm interested if either of you have ever built a sauce using bouillon to enhance what you've got going on. Jim, I feel like you could be in this
No.
realm. I don't know, Anna, if this is going to be for you.
I know. I'm like really thinking, and I don't think I ever have.
I call for it. I have an old bouillabaisse recipe from my first cookbook that I use, spike it with bouillon, just to give it some contrast and some different umami flavors, but never for anything remotely Italian. I can't think I ever have. I guess I'm not opposed to it. I just have never even considered it.
Yeah, right.
I'm
mean, I'm not
Go
saying
ahead,
no
yeah.
right away.
Right.
I just,
Right.
I don't think I've ever even, like, it hasn't been in my consideration set. Just like, I've never, like, really put, like, soy sauce, like it just hasn't, I didn't like consider it. So, not that I wouldn't.
Totally.
But
I'm with you. It's one of those things, right? I saw this and I was like, wait, am I doing something wrong? Do I need to like boost my marinara with this? Is this the secret weapon everyone's been using?
I might try
it.
Yeah. I'll try it this weekend. I'll report back.
So you have to use essentially, right, this is the Knorr caldo de tomate, which translates essentially to tomato soup. So it's a bouillon powder that essentially is both tomato power, right, equivalent of, and also a savory chicken broth to it as well. So that's the idea. I mean, noted it is packed with actual MSG as an ingredient, which is always a help to bring out an umami kind of flavor for something. But listen, if you guys are interested in giving it a whirl, I'm intrigued to see how it works, guys.
I'll try it. I will try it and report back. Promise.
All right, I appreciate that. So in that same vein, like kind of thinking about that, about alternative items that we're going to feature in pizza, we got another one out of Eater, and I don't know if either of you have done this, but I'm intrigued, guys. So Eater, PMQ writes, why you might not want to add eggs in your pizza dough. So I'm not that familiar with egg-based pizza doughs in general, but I'll note PMQ writes, eggs do offer some browning benefits for your pizza crust, but there are other ways to get the same results for a lower cost. I didn't know, to be honest, that we were seeking these results, that we need to get them at a lower cost in the first place. But I'm interested, guys, if either of you have been using eggs at all, or Jim, if you have an egg-based recipe across the United States, you're regional everywhere, man. Who is using eggs? Because I don't know who they are.
Nobody.
All right.
I can tell the top 33 aren't.
no.
Anna, what about you? Eggs in your pizza dough?
No, but again, it's like it's not a no right away. I immediately went to, well, I make an Easter bread. That's my
Okay,
grandma's
sure.
recipe. And it's eggy. It's not super sweet, but there's sugar in it. I thought, maybe I'd just make like a pizza dough with that, like
Hmm.
an Easter bread pizza. Maybe we're gonna,
Okay.
I'm gonna try it out.
Why not?
But
Yeah.
eggs are, I feel like it would just not give it like
Be
the light
heavy.
texture that I would be looking for in it. But it would just be more bready than
Yeah.
very. We'll
So
see.
I'll read from it here and say, and then Jim, I'll let you riff on it for a second. The addition of egg whites for a crispier crust has been common for many years, and to a great extent, it is effective. But again, it carries with it a pretty hefty cost. Typically, 2% egg white has been added to the dough to improve its crispiness.
There's a Middle Eastern kind of flatbread we talked about maybe a month ago that reminded us kind of like a challah. And that's kind of what I think of this dough would be, right? Something that's kind of eggy and crisp, but dense. And I understand, right? You put egg whites in waffles and you put it in pancakes to make it lighter, but the lightness of that and the lightness of a well-proved pizza are not the same. And I feel
Yeah,
like maybe if you're a complete
right.
novice, right, this is kind of a way where you can get lightness if you don't have a good rise, or you have terrible tap water and can't
Hmm.
get yeast to activate. But I don't think I ever would. I don't even think I would try it, because it would be, if you just did egg white, your protein would be off, and it would create
Right.
such an odd structure.
I think that's exactly what I was thinking. If I was trying to make a, a 6-hour pizza, right, that could give it some structure that you're missing in all of the fermentation. But there
Yeah.
really wouldn't be another reason to
No.
throw that in there. To brown, that's not
That's what olive oil
necessary.
was invented for, right?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
look at this. Now, look, you were just worried about making only creative gelatos. Now you are making bouillon egg pizzas tonight, Anna. You're going off the stratosphere. No one knows what is going on over there. When they come in tomorrow, people are going to be like, what is this?
What is she doing? Yeah.
We're gonna blame Will and Will only for this.
All right. Well, listen, we'll keep it going, guys. That was good though. All right. So next one up out of Eater. I'm intrigued by this. This is a general statement, and I'm interested in your thoughts. So Eater wrote an article here. The easiest way to improve a slice of mediocre pizza is to cook it longer. So if you're grabbing a slice and it's a meh, best way to improve that slice is essentially to ask for it well done. How do we feel about this?
I'm gonna let Anna
Does
go
this
first,
sound
because by
like
her face, I think we are
scientific research
completely on
here
the
for
same
this one?
page on this.
I mean, if that's the only resource that you have to improve that pizza, uh, no, I think that would make it worse, in my opinion. But maybe just add some pecorino
Right?
on top, and we'll just a little
There we
olive oil, and
go.
we'll
There
call it
we
a
go.
day. But
There it is.
to crisp it, I can't think of a scenario that would be make a mediocre pizza better. Not one. I don't know. I mean, I guess like in a wood-fired oven, but that's not going to it just takes away from it.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think a mediocre pizza is like, poorly risen, right? So you're either gonna make it like dry, or let's say I can't. It's not gonna improve anything by cooking longer. If anything, I'd probably cook a little bit less, or I don't
Less.
know. Right.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think get out the red pepper flakes, get out the hot sauce, and just know where you are.
Ranch dressing.
All right.
Go.
Yeah, there
It's
we
a
go.
good
All
Midwestern
right.
reference. I love it. If you have to,
All
right?
right.
If you
Listen,
have to. But then
ranch and
also,
hot
like,
sauce will
why are
save
we
anything.
eating it?
Right.
Fair. All right, Eater, we're not believing you, Eater, here. So I don't know about this
sorry.
one.
Go
And has
pass
anyone
this.
ever come in and asked for
No,
slices
sorry.
at your spot?
Go pass this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you guys do slices?
No, 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 we don't.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, I was like, wait. That's why I was asking. I was like, wait, I saw you pause, and I was like, people have come in and asked for slices though, and been disappointed that you
Yes.
guys don't offer slices?
Yeah, regularly. And they also tell me that I should sell them by the slice, and I just tell them to go away. I say, that pizza shop down the street there, they sell them by the slice. Go there.
If you start doing Sicilians at the other one, will you ever offer slices there?
No.
All right. Okay.
No.
Buy the whole pizza.
Yeah.
Respect it.
I mean, it's helpful. We started offering Sicilians, and it's kind of like off topic, but we started offering them as a way to have a higher ticket price item on our menu, because there's only so much you can sell a pizza for. But the Sicilians, they average about $33. They serve two, $35, and I mean, one person could eat it, and I've seen one person almost eat the whole pizza.
Yeah.
But it's 2 or 3 people. Yeah. So when you're selling a $13 margarita pizza and they each get their own pizza, your ticket's like $26. But if they're sharing a Sicilian, it's an extra, $10 on that. Or you get a table of 4, split a Sicilian, and then each get 2 margarita and split that. And it's a way to make more money.
Nice.
So selling by the slice would just like pull me away from that, in my opinion.
Yeah. So while we're here, so are we talking true Sicilian? You're not doing Old Forge, you're not doing Ohio Valley, you're not doing any of the not weird, but atypical. This is a true Sicilian thing that you'd be proud of. Good.
Yes.
So you're not putting American cheese onto your pizza, as I segue Will into his next article.
I can't talk about it. I was gonna bring up the Altoona style pizza tonight. There was an article about it. I can't go back to it. I've talked about it countless amount of times, and we can't. I'm trying to not disgrace the show any further than we already have. So we can't put American cheese on it.
Respect. Sorry.
Sorry, I can't also think of a time that would be necessary. Not one time.
It isn't. That's why we're not talking about it.
Necessary is the hard word in that statement. That's where I also struggle with finding the necessity of it and how this was ever created. So let's talk about a different ingredient, though.
Let's do it.
I'm intrigued, Anna, how seasonal you guys get over there. So this one also from Eater, again, it's Eater and PMQ guys. The only people writing articles this week. Everybody, please shut up about ramps. It's a vegetable that tastes like garlic, not a miracle plant. So I'm interested, Anna, are you guys like on the ramp trend as like spring hits and you're going to be featuring them in all of your pies, or are we not doing ramps at all?
Not at all. Again, it's not a no. I would eat it if someone would make it for me, but I'm not going to sell it.
Oh, all right. I get it. Jim, are you a ramp guy? What do you think, dude?
I love them charred on pasta, but I don't know, on pizza, I think the texture is what would throw me, right? I think if you put them on raw, it's wrong. If you let them cook at the high heat, I think it would get accurate. So I don't think I'd do it personally.
Okay, all right. Guys, I could get down for a good ramp. I don't know if I'm going to do them on pizza. I'm happy to see them on a menu, like a ramp pesto. I think Eater quotes, and I've seen a number of uses of that. I've had a lot of like ramp and crab before. I've seen some pretty cool little appetizers with it. So like, I'm not going to lie, I'm down for ramp season. I just don't know if I need them on my pizza. All right.
Hashtag ramp season. There's our weekly t-shirt, Will.
I didn't know if it was a thing. I felt like, everyone's talking about them. I feel like springtime comes, like people are jumping up and down, like knocking on other people's doors. Like, can I borrow some ramps? Do you guys have any? No, maybe not by you guys.
No, definitely not Michigan.
Only the southern states, I guess, apparently.
I guess.
You tagged me in a pizzeria putting one on pizza. And I'm
All
going to
right.
find out. Okay. You find them for me.
I got you. All right, it's coming at you. Don't worry. I'm doing an egg wash bouillon ramp top pizza is coming your way. All right. So listen, we're gonna get serious for a second here. This one, Anna, is gonna be for you, and I'm interested your thoughts on it. I'll preface it by saying seems a little extreme for me, but I'm interested if you have any thoughts on this. And I'll preface it with we've talked a lot before about tipping and adding charges onto things, and this kind of it's very different, but it falls in the same vein to me from a customer perspective. And it is an article that was written by Daily Hive. Oh, sorry guys, I just shared it and then it went away. Oh my God, come on back. And it is, I'll read it out loud for the time being until it comes up. Extra price for a slice. Canadian pizza chain raises eyebrows for charging a 2% carbon fee on their bills. So this is an item that's added on the bill, but the article speaks to the point of they're saying essentially we are importing all of our ingredients for the most part from Italy, and we are offsetting essentially our carbon footprint for bringing those in by adding that to your bill. Not a willing charge. This is just a direct charge on the bill, but they do note it as a 2% charge to it. So I'm interested in your thoughts, Anna, on the idea of a 2% carbon charge, or just a charge like that hitting your bill from something other than, maybe like a pass through like that. It just seemed a little odd, but tell me what you think.
I feel like as a consumer, if I saw that, it would be pretty distasteful. I'm fine paying 2% more for food that I want to eat. But I don't need to see like the broken down cost of it. And why didn't they just go a step further and be like, here, my, building insurance went up 0.5%. So we're also going to put that at the bottom line item of my ticket to a customer. Like it doesn't seem necessary that they need to be privy to that information. Like just raise your price.
I'm with
Right.
you. It's one of those things where it's like, it's the balance of it, like idea of like, hey, maybe I'm trying to put this image out there that like I'm trying to be more carbon neutral, right? Or something of the sort, but maybe this was not the way to do it. Maybe this kind of went astray. Like I'm passing that on to you, but I'm doing it. So is it like you're helping the world or am I? I'm not sure. Jim, what do you think, man?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Is they're letting me fund their altruism, right? Where if they said, "Hey, we take 2% of every check we get, we donate to green funds or whatever," cool, right? Love it. Well, love what you're doing, but now you're directly making me pay for that. I think that's just marketing. You could do the same thing and market it so much better, right? Don't let me see behind the curtain. Raise everything 2% and say you've offset this million pounds of CO2 and everyone feels good about their slice.
Yeah, and if the pizza's good, then you'll still pay it. I mean,
Exactly.
really, that's what we're learning about inflation and the prices of things going up. People are still paying for the food, so
It's a good food.
I don't think it needs to be noted.
I'd say some of the comments that came back from TripAdvisor were good, great service, but they added a cash grab disguised as a 2% carbon tax for another user on Yelp as well. So definitely it's not receiving good sentiment. We've got a couple buyer beware tags that have hit on there. No mention of this before seating us. We would have walked out if we'd seen this. So Toronto is not reacting well to this charge. I will say that.
And this is Toronto. This is Canada. Imagine they did this in Brooklyn. What would happen, right? Seriously. They're nice up there.
All right. I don't know. Maybe. That's a fair point, Jim. Good point. Way to go, Meatballs. You're on the board there.
All right, good. Finally. Only took me 40 minutes, but I got there.
All right, let's talk about another. I don't know. I don't know how to put them. I won't even give an introduction for it. So I'll say this one out of Q105.com. Barstool president Dave Portnoy takes pizza tour around Tampa Bay. This one I thought was interesting for the sheer sense of, guys, I didn't know that. I feel like Barstool and Portnoy now, it's like he's going on tour is what I feel like. It's like not just the reviews coming out, right? Like he is going to tour Tampa. and bring up all like the Tampa places. I feel like I'm like buying tickets to like a concert or something. Like Portnoy's coming to town. You know, it's very different. I feel like than when we used to see him like, oh, popped in and here's a review. Now it's like, get ready for the area. Like he's coming through. I'm interested in that. So I don't know. Anna, if Portnoy popped in to Mercurio's, how do we think this would go down? Embracing him, or would you be like, would the staff be into him? What do you think? So we've gotten so many mixed reviews of seeing different articles about him when he's been in spots.
It's hard for me to say because he doesn't like Neapolitan pizza. So he's not going to like my pizza and he's going to bitch about the toppings falling off. So, um, I'm in business because I'm out to give an authentic Italian experience to my customers. And
Yeah.
when people complain about it, I just say, it's not for everyone. And so thank you for trying it, but also like you don't need to come back here. Not that I, give them that line, but it's so for him to come to order our pizza, I would just say no, thank you. You don't need to. I don't need a 5 out of 10 rating. I know my pizza's good.
Right.
So, and I know that by the fact that I have a full restaurant every evening and my customers like it. So at the end of the day, I feel like that, if you're a newer business or you do something kind of similar to a lot of other people in your community and you get a really good rating and review, I think it is super helpful for that business and those businesses. But like my style, I would not want to see him in my restaurant or standing outside of it.
Yeah, that's the one I'd be more afraid of. If he popped in, I'd be like, okay, I see how it goes. If he's standing outside, then you're like, oh man. Like, I'm with you. That's one of the handcuffs about it, I think, too. It's like when people don't think through it to that extent that you're talking about from an operator perspective, like, I know disrespect to Dave, like he's got a style, and he says it too, though, right? I mean, he has a style that he likes, and he has a style that he does not like, or at least does not show favorably on. And unfortunately, you do sit in that category, I think, from what we've seen from others. Jim, what do you think, though, man? If you were, give me your thoughts on him. Not that we don't talk about him enough, but
I mean, he's not a food judge, right? He's not certified in anything. He can't say, I appreciate the char or the crumb, or right. He's just a dude putting numbers to a pizza. So like I said, it's wildly imperfect to his taste because he's not impartial. He doesn't look impartial, nor does he admit to, but that's going to skew and slant things. Also, if he doesn't like your face, you're going to get a bad review, right? If he's having a bad day, so again, it's so wildly subjective, and it is truly entertainment that I'm with you. I would be like, hey, thanks for stopping by. Here's some gelato as you walk away, right?
But there you go. Sell him with the gelato.
But keep the camera off, because nothing he's going to do will make your business better.
Oh, it wouldn't be helpful. That's for sure.
And we've heard a lot to stretch, but a number of people from the club, right, have been reviewed, and we've heard about the impact in business where like that week, like you are going bonkers, and some of that has carried through. Some of it's been helpful and some of it's not been as helpful. So I'm interested to always hear about it when he's coming through. So thankfully you're not in Tampa because he's making the tour there. The greatest hits are rolling through Florida.
He did do one in Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure he had one of those, like, we're coming to Pittsburgh. Tag me in your top 5 like favorite pizza places, and I was like, he better come to, and he did it. But there's so many good pizza places in Pittsburgh, and also like that are just much more traditional. 50 years, and they deserve to be reviewed against one another. And I don't need to be in that category.
Fair. Okay. And if you're not eating Neapolitan or Sicilian, what style of pizza are you going for?
That's hard. I mean, that depends on my mood.
Totally. I hear you there.
I would say probably Detroit.
Okay.
Ironborn does a nice Detroit style, and so if I was like wanted to go out for pizza, I would probably get that.
Nice.
I love it. Choice. Good one. Good pick. All right, guys, let's talk about a couple more. And This one is out of Las Vegas Weekly, and I'm happy just to feature it because it's honestly John Arena, and John Arena's great. He's the OG of pizza, like that is for sure. It's gonna be. I love it. Wait, can I do that too and get one?
I had no idea. You
If you
make
made
it
a
look
better
like a
heart,
heart.
did make a square.
Look, it's a heart, guys.
You're making a circle.
This is it, guys. I don't know. All right. Anyway, I have to work out.
I don't know.
My favorite moment in this show to date. That's great.
Anyway, John Arena, guys, he's going to be speaking at that expo this year.
I am a huge fan of John Arena, and I have been for a really long time. And I think it's just, you know, I met him a couple years ago, but I didn't really like know him that well. And not that I've had many conversations, but he's just one of those people that is just so kind-hearted. Like it's funny how when he's in a room, it's like the presence is just he can command it in kindness. It's not anything that he's doing. It's just like his how much passion he has for pizza and for the industry, and how he is like a true champion of what people are trying to do and supporting them. I like just think what he does. I have had his pizza in Vegas, but I would do anything to go to Truly Pizza. Just
So
haven't been there yet.
that's one I haven't been. I haven't been to Truly, but I mean, I ate his pizza in Vegas, and I think it was actually at one of the like slice out events too, where him and Chris Decker were making pies. And I will say, there's not that many pizzas that I've had that I felt are like life changing. That this is one of them. Just like seeing the airiness and like just like lifting this plate, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a cloud. I was like, this is like a cloud, and I was like, how is this possible that I'm picking this up like this with nothing to it? I was just like mind blown. I was like, this is so cool. Like, I would recommend anyone check out one of these because like you will be like, I've never had pizza before until like I ate this, and I was like,
yeah.
so
And
cool.
it's even one of those things where, I'll talk to Chris Decker and he'll just be like, I'll just tell you, this is how you do it. I just do this and this and this. But it's like when your grandma was making her bread, like there's something else that I don't have.
Some magic.
But that I need to like be near it to just like the
take it in. You just gotta be osmosis being around you and just feel the vibe, the pizza vibes.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one of those. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm like super inspired seeing their pizza and their content. I'll be honest, I'm not a good social media person, and I don't put out a lot of content, but I love seeing what other people do and appreciate their commitment to posting because it does. I look at it and I think that's just amazing.
Yeah,
what they do.
I think it speaks to the point though too, like that you're saying, like, oh, I could ask Chris a question and I'll tell you, and speak to John too. I think it speaks to something probably that people outside the industry don't really get a lot from the pizza side is like the pizza community is so welcoming, and everyone in it who's at the top of the game are so willing to share things and help others. It's probably just one of the coolest things I think we can see, at least from the outside looking in, just like how helpful everyone is, like in anywhere. And you see that in Expo, obviously when everyone's there, but in general, it's just such a cool thing to experience when you get to know some of these guys.
And it's just one of those things where when you understand that when everyone makes better pizza, it's just better for the industry overall.
100%.
There's nothing bad about everyone making good pizza because at the end of the day, it's your own style, it's your own flavor profile. It's like what you want in your business. And so I just don't think that there's any reason to kind of shield that information. I am in both worlds, in gelato or ice cream and in pizza. And while ice cream is definitely a very friendly environment and people are willing to like give you information, it's super tight-lipped. And there is like I'm working on a recipe for something, and I know there's not a single person I'm going to call and get that
Yeah,
information
yeah.
from,
Interesting.
because it's not like pizza.
All right,
So cool.
interesting to see the difference like that. Huh. All right, I think we got two more or so, and we'll get in. Jim, listen, I'm throwing this to you, man, only because you've been talking. I think we've been talking about Columbus style pizza a little bit recently, and so I'll highlight this one from 614 now. Local man on a mission to get Columbus style pizza entry on Wikipedia. So, we've been talking a lot about like how do you get like what are actual pizza styles, like regional pizza styles where people can like feature them or not, or what makes a style. So I don't know, Jim, is this the way to go where you just like, hey, I put this on Wikipedia and now Columbus style pizza is a thing?
Not to me. You can't. The more you try and make it happen, the more it's not happening, right? I mean, we've talked about it, but the way to make a regional style is it has to be known to your area, it has to be imitated outside the area, right? And there has to be more than 1, 2, 3 people doing it. There has to be similarities. I don't see that in Columbus style pizza. I've tried, I've looked, and I just don't see it like I see other styles where there's that, well, they don't cook the cheese or the dough set. They don't have that. So I respect what they're trying to do, but I mean, Ohio has so many different styles of pizza alone, right? Yeah, you see it, right? Just in Pennsylvania, and just the difference if you drive across the state, where you go to middle of Columbus, and it's more of a melting pot. And I don't think its uniqueness is the diversity, but that's not a style of pizza. That, to me. Oh, and have you heard of Columbus style? Is this a thing that's ever?
No, I've never heard of it. I was just thinking, how have I never heard of Columbus style pizza?
That's
I feel
how.
like I should know that. I'm only a couple hours away. As a matter of fact, I'm flying from Vegas to Columbus that
Oh.
that weekend. But nothing stands out to what that would even be, or like what are they saying it is?
We'll send you the link here to support the Wikipedia page, so then you could be follower 2. So try to promote it and get it out there. That would be what they're looking for.
I can't describe. I think some think it's like a Cleveland style, right? Some think it's like a Buffalo style. Some think it's like a tavern style. I can't draw a line between them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
until we can do
thin,
that,
crispy, like pepperoni covered to the edge of this thing, but like this goes back.
I've seen some others that don't. So I can't do it.
Yep.
I've tried. I have tried to make it happen. I want to make it happen. I can't. This is one of the few I can't make. I can't do it. Sorry,
But you
sorry,
do
people
support
from Columbus.
you do support the California style, though. Just to be clear, just to be on the record here.
I discuss it. I don't know that I support it. I'm not against it like you are, Will. I understand it requires a discussion.
I have trouble, Anna, with California style pizza because to me, pizza needs like a distinctive base, right? Where I can refer to something and say like, hey, like here's a key characteristic. This California style is like farm to table and my toppings are fresh and I put them on in California style. I'm like, well, but what does that pizza look like? What does that look like? And everyone's like, oh, it's what you want. And like the magicalness goes around it, and that doesn't work for me. Yeah.
I grew the grain,
I grew this. And I'm like, well, is it
milled it in
thick?
my house.
Is it thick? Is it thin? They're like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, no. You need to have something.
That's so funny, because when I thought like California style, I was like thinking to myself, I can think of like, a bunch of different looks of pizza.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but it's definitely like it's an organic milk and fresh sheep milk
and
on the
it's square,
pizza.
and it's square or round,
it's all of the things.
Or thin doesn't make a difference.
Everything and nothing all at the same time.
All right, listen, we got one.
I don't think that phrase has ever like been so true for something. Everything and nothing.
I've got
This
got
is
two
what
on
it
the board
is,
today.
guys. This is what it is. Seriously, like I just struggle with this one. All right, so listen, final one, guys. This one's often not an article that we do quote, although we do quote a lot of interesting pizzas here. This is
I
from
really do.
Japan Today, and this is Domino's Pizza offering Sakura Pizza for cherry blossom season. So, Anna, I feel like, you do traditional pizzas. Japan has a lot of traditional foods, or style, I would say. I don't know if this one falls into that realm for them, but I will note, in general, this pizza from Domino's, the toppings start out orthodox with mozzarella cheese, and actually 50% more than what you would get on a regular Domino's Japan pizza. Things get progressively sweeter from there, though, since mixed in with the cheese is condensed milk. Sprinkled on top are pink cherry blossom evocative strawberry flavored tapioca balls. And you get this sort of tapioca tea boba type thing. It's finally stuffed with sakura flavored chocolate and cheese, and the edges are dusted with powdered sugar. So, Anna, are you down to give this one a whirl? The cherry blossom pizza from Japan.
I can't say that I am. I'm really trying. It's the cheese. It's the cheese that's what all of those things would be perfectly fine together. It needed 50% less cheese, probably not 50% more, if I had to say. And then as you were reading that, I was like, I'm not exactly sure what that topping is, but the boba is a really good description. I mean,
Yeah, so it sounds like a cherry or strawberry-esque boba tea pizza with cheese in your boba.
that would be terrible. I mean, I would have to go there and try that, but I'm like that. It has such a texture thing. I
It's
mean,
the
if I'm
texture.
eating that, I would need, I don't know, pine nuts, like something else,
Yeah,
not
I agree, right?
pizza,
There's gonna be
I
to
something
like
to
like
it.
that,
grab
yeah.
it. But it's the cheese. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah,
Jim, you
I
trying it?
would
What do you
need.
think, bud?
I mean, I'll try anything twice. I would need acid. I don't think I could eat the crust, right? The stuffed crust with the chocolate and the cheese. Again, I know what that tastes like, I think, but boy, I think the textures are what gonna kill me. But you can't cover this in
Yeah.
ranch, right? You can't cook it longer.
No,
So
you
I'm
you
not sure
cannot.
how you get out of this one.
Well, this one you definitely could have put the eggs in the dough. I'll tell you that.
Pecorino.
Yes, this is
The
where you
eggs
put
were
the
in the
eggs in.
dough for this one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Listen,
It's a
there's
tough
a
one.
couple of things we didn't get to cover tonight, guys, but we do need to wrap up. I will encourage everyone. Maybe we'll link it out there. There's a new pizza song that's out there highlighting New Haven style pizza. You can check it out on
Beats.
SoundCloud. And the song particularly corrects people talking about pizza, and they're like, "It's a beats." In the song, it's like a show tune, almost kind of vibe
Of
to
course
it,
it
like
is.
big band. Like, check it out. We'll drop a link for it. Listen to your pizza music, and also we didn't get to chat about quickly though was in New York coming up, which is Mama's 2, which is moving into Manhattan, lower into Manhattan, right to the same kind of area around where we are seeing Landry open up, which we think we're going to get this like trifecta area in lower Manhattan of all this like pizza, the new mile or green mile of pizza area to check out. So new offering also as well coming up from Manhattan. They're moving downtown a bit. So just a couple other ones we didn't get to. All right. Well, listen, on that note, Anna, thank you so much for being our guest tonight. Where can people find you across social media if they're interested in following your boring social media page that you are telling us it's like, which I'm sure it's more exciting because I do follow you
I'm
as
sure
well.
it's great.
Our handle for Instagram is Mercurio's PGH, and mine is Anna underscore, which I know is kind of outdated, but it's Anna underscore Crucitt. And when I feel inspired to share something, so you get the most content of quality over
Yeah,
quantity. We'll just say
it's
that.
Perfect.
quality over quantity. I feel you there. And I listen, I think the underscore implies that you're an OG on the platform, so it's okay.
Bingo.
Like you've been there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Rock it hard. I
I
got the
thought about
underscore.
changing it, and then I was like, you know what? What for? What for?
I love it.
I don't have any reason.
Jimmy Meatballs, where can everybody find you,
Spicy
my friend?
meatball.
You type in Jim Cook's Food Good, no underscores, into wherever you get your social media, and you'll run into me one way or another.
All right. I love it. Well, listen, guys, thank you both of you very much for coming on with us tonight. Everyone else, guys, please listen, check out the page, I Need Pizza Club on YouTube. We've got a lot of other shows and content out there. Please like and subscribe, check it out. And we will be back next week with another episode soon. Thank you all. See ya.
Thank you.